First on our agenda, we will have a roll call. So I will now turn it over to Director of Communications, Wayne. Amy?
Good morning. President Naomi.
Present.
Okay, President Mark.
Present.
Director of Finance, Zach.
Present.
Director of Legislative Affairs, Jacob. Director of Public Relations, Nick. Director of Communications, Amy, present. Senator David.
Present.
Senator Rachel. Senator Reed.
Present.
Senator Stacy.
Present.
Senator Mary Kay. Senator Hamza. Senator Beheshta. Senator Sasha.
Present.
And Senator Oscar. Oscar. He's muted, but he's here. So there's 10 out of 15 members present, so the quorum has been met.
Great, thank you, Amy. We will now move on to adoption of the agenda. It looks like our advisor Brett has shared the agenda in the chat. I can also share the screen. Brief agenda today. I wanted to give it a quick scroll for you all to see. So if there are no objections, we will adopt today's agenda. Seeing and hearing none, the agenda is adopted. All right, moving on to approval of the minutes. Let's see, Brett, did you have an opportunity to share the minutes?
I do not have them. I don't know
Okay,
if Amy has them or not yet.
I have them. I can share my screen.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, so here are the minutes from the previous meeting on the 23rd. Thanks again to Director of Communications. Brief scroll for everyone to see. There are no objections. The minutes will be adopted. Seeing and hearing none, the minutes are adopted. All right. Now moving on to chair's message. So, good morning, everyone. Senate President Dasari appointed me to chair today's meeting. I just wanted to mention that this week is Black Student Success Week. Hopefully some of you were able to attend the webinars via Zoom and may be able to share your thoughts during board member reports. If you missed the webinars, they are available on YouTube, which I can put in the chat. And other than that, I wanted to mention that tomorrow is the first annual Community College Data Science Conference. I will also be putting the registration info for that in the chat. And I think now we can move on to advisor's message.
All right. Well, Senator Burrows, thank you for stepping in today and sharing. I know it can be a little nerve-wracking, but thank you. And on behalf of Naomi, who's triple booked, I think, today, I know they're grateful as well. So as always, just a couple updates. First off, sending aloha to all of you. It's been a long week. It's been a stressful week. So, you know, keep grinding. You all are almost there. it's May 1st tomorrow. Can you all believe that? It's crazy. So a couple things, and I'm going to send some of this stuff out on email and the Discord channel. The Vice President of Administration impression panels are next Friday. I emailed this group as well as the incoming board, and a couple people got back and said they can make it. So Naomi and I got an updated schedule, and then we need to create some questions, and then I'll go over, the best practices, the equitable policies we have in place to ensure confidentiality and fairness and stuff like that. So if folks didn't see that email, this is the chance to meet Vice President of Administration candidates. And you get to ask them questions, and we then turn in feedback to the hiring committee on what you all thought of the candidates. So this board has the unique responsibility of being able to do this for the now president and the vice president of instruction. So this board will have input on 3 of the 4 kind of top tier administrators on campus. So unique situation for you all, but hopefully we can get some folks for next week. Next week is the last meeting. So it's been a wild ride with all of you, and I'll share that speech for next week. But I'm just grateful you all show up every Friday. It says a lot. So again, thank you. I met with the SSCC director yesterday to talk about some concerns, issues at the regional level and the state level. So for next year's incoming board, whenever we do get an orientation date, I invited them to come for a quick presentation, just so we see what their scope of work is. You all can share what your scope of work is going to be, and have that line of communication there. So turns out the director literally lives right around the corner from me. So we're going to meet next time in person at the local coffee shop around the corner. So kind of cool. Everything else, there's cultural graduations coming up starting tonight, I believe, is the Native American one. 6 or 6:30. Stacy, do you know by chance what time it starts? I can find out for y'all when I hand it back over. There was an API grad next week. It was yesterday. Oh, someone told me it was yesterday. I thought it was tonight for some reason. I apologize. There's the Lavender grad next Friday. And then the campus one, the drive-through one, is May 19th. I did find out that they're sending emails to those that petition to graduate. So if you're not receiving emails, it's because you didn't petition to graduate. So just an FYI. Other than that, we had the Pet Palooza yesterday. That was cool. Saw some puppies, saw some cats. We had a small turnout, but I think it was, for those who were there, it was cool to see the animals. Nice little stress reliever. So hopefully we can do that again and get some more folks up in there. And hopefully it leads to some adoption of those animals, because, loving homes is great. So other than that, I think that's all I have. There was an LGBTQ summit the last 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, and there were a lot of folks from ARC represented in that. From all accounts, I heard the conference went great. Maybe Sasha, if they attended, can give us an update later. But that's all I have. So again, Stacy, thank you for chairing today. Appreciate it. And I will hand it back to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brett. We can move on now to public comment. So this time is reserved for members of the public to address the Student Senate on issues not already appearing on the agenda. A limit of 2 minutes per speaker shall be observed, with a maximum of 4 minutes per topic. No discussion is allotted on public comment. The law does not permit any action to be taken nor extended discussion of any items not on the agenda. The ASB Student Senate may briefly respond to statements made for questions posed. However, for further information, please contact the ASB Student Senate President for the item of discussion to be placed on a future agenda. Are there any members of the public who wish to make a comment at this time?
Chair, if possible, I'd like to make a statement.
Recognized.
Hi, thank you. Chad Funk, Associate Vice President of Student Services. I want to, in advance, formally recognize and thank every member here that has been a part of this body during one of the most difficult times I can imagine to keep this this process and this work going. I just really want to tip my hat and commend each of you and thank you personally for your dedication, time, and efforts to continue to support students on this campus in what has been really, and forgive the overuse of the word, but unprecedented. Each one of you are deserving of commendation, of appreciation for your time to really provide some form of community as well as a voice of students to continue to participate on top of all of what this particular time has meant in each one of your lives personally. I just want to thank you sincerely and really recognize you. Also to thank you, Brett, for the work that you've continued to do, and for the individuals who are incoming and holding positions and will be transitioning. We hope with fingers crossed is back on ground. It is really a wonderful thing, and hopefully things will be able to step back up without much of a barrier. I'm not sure about if I'll be able to be here next week or not, but I want to put out my thanks and appreciation to each of you today. Thank you for your hard work so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Funk. Are there any other members of the public who wish to make a comment at this time? All right, seeing and hearing none, we can move on to appointments and swearing in, of which there are none. So we will move on to unfinished business, of which there is none, and into new business, of which there is also none. Short schedule this week, folks. And so then we progress to committee reports. So please correct me if I'm mistaken, but I believe there are no committees this week.
Chair.
Recognized.
Sorry, your sound kind of went out there, so I didn't catch your last comment there. I apologize.
Okay, I said, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there were no committees that met this week.
Yeah.
Right. Seeing and hearing none, we can move on to board member reports and announcements. Does anyone have any board member reports to share?
Chair.
Recognized.
So we had the California Community College LGBTQ Summit this week, and it went really well. It was really interesting. It was a lot of networking, a lot of workshops and Zoom meetings and stuff like that. I attended a few, and that was really interesting to hear about. One of the ones that I attended was the LGBTQI research that went on. I don't know if y'all remember in the fall when there was like questions about like what is your experience at American War College and being trans and queer, and they talked about the research and when it went in and what was the output, and it was really interesting to hear about the student perspective and all the work that went in. But yeah, it was a really cool summit.
Thank you, Senator. Are there any other board member reports?
Chair.
Recognized.
One more thing. So next week on Tuesday, we're having our final QT BIPOC speaker series. Kat Vasco. She's a comedian and mixes in activism too, so it's gonna be really interesting. It's our last speaker, so hopefully y'all can come out from 12 to 1 on Tuesday.
Thank you, Senator. Are there any other members of the board who wish to make a report or an announcement at this time? All right. Seeing and hearing none, we can move on to public comment. This time is reserved for members of the public to address the Student Senate on issues not already appearing on the agenda. A limit of 2 minutes per speaker shall be observed with a maximum of 4 minutes per topic. No discussion is allotted on public comment. The law does not permit any action to be taken nor extend a discussion of any items not on the agenda. The ASB Student Senate may briefly respond to statements made for questions posed. However, for further information, please contact the ASB Student Senate President for the item of discussion to be placed on a future agenda. Are there any members of the public who wish to make a comment at this time? Right. Seeing and hearing none, we can move on to adjournment. If there are no objections, this meeting will be adjourned at 10:48 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Seeing and hearing none, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. See you next.